Hi everybody, I'm George Torres again, coming back to a part 2 of 4th Street Hockey, and this time I'm going to talk about the player cards. This game, again, I think what makes it good is it's a lot of dice. The dice and the player cards are the stars. You don't have any action cards like you do with other games, and that's not a knock. You know, I just think that using action cards is kind of like reading a script. And I think with the dice and the cards, there's just a chance of more random events. But again, that's a personal opinion. You know, it's not gospel, so don't, you know, take it as you will. So I got Jack Hughes from the New Jersey Devils on here, and yeah, wanted to go over you know, the symbols and you know, what everything means as much as I can. So these are called as puck action numbers. Alright, there's puck action numbers. Alright, so in the defensive zone right here, we have even strength, power play, shorthanded. So you got it for each of those situations. And you have N for the neutral zone, and then O for the offensive zone, again broken down to even strength, power play, and shorthanded numbers. That's his jersey number, if you were just wondering. Anyway, so along the left column, he's got his actions, and again, these numbers refer to 0 to 99 die, or two 10-sided die from 0 to 9. Give us our numerals. So, even strength in the defensive zone, if he rolls anything from a 0 to 38, he's got a PD number, which stands for passing against the defense. SC is he gets a skate against checking. DC is a dump or clear number, which rolls from 58 to 74. And then between 75 and 81, he'll ice the puck. Okay, and the only offside comes on from the neutral zone at 78, but at a penalty, 82, so he doesn't get penalized too much. Injury, 84, it's pretty durable. And this stands for his wrist shot and slap shot, which only applies in the offensive zone. The even strength, power play, shorthanded. So again, those 2 0 to 9 die, 10-sided die, determines the puck actions. Alright, and this is a wild card, 99, 98, 99. If you hit on that, I think the computer's got a wild card chart, or it's any offensive action by the coach. Usually when I play, or at least in the early going, I've been playing, you know, with the computer coach. WP 99 here, and in the power play indicates a weird play, and that special chart for that comes with a board game, and it's built into the computer game. Alright, so basically, alright, in defensive zone power play, you'd have a higher pass number, obviously one less skater on the ice for the opposition, and higher numbers for skating against checking, dump and clear, icing 79, as an injury between 80 and 82. And this is the coach's decision in 98 for whatever offensive action. We would play at 99. And so forth. And the same goes here. The offensive zone, he's got much lower numbers. And then you have his wrist shot. WS, wrist shot, it takes wrist shot, even strength from 17 to 67. and a slap shot from 68 to 87. So that's how you read these cards. On the power play, he has a wrist shot from 6 to 63 and a slap shot from 64 to 86. And coach's decision 98, weird play at 99. And shorthanded, same deal. He but again, shorthanded, he doesn't have too many shots. 48 to 79 is a wrist shot, and 80 to 92 is a slap shot. Okay, so that's basically what the puck possession actions mean, the numbers mean. Alright, now here are his passing, skating, defense, and checking ratings. Alright, so passing ratings are 14, and these guys are usually rated from, I would think, 10 to 20. Let me find that on my cheat sheet. $10 to 20. So 15 would be considered average, so he's just a tick below average on his passing. Hard to believe, huh? Skating, 13. Again, 15's average. Defense, I think it's 1 to 9 or 0 to 9. I think it's 1 to 9. So you can see he's not a very good defender at this point in his career. And checking wise, the same deal. Alright. So the way these numbers work is when he gets into a matchup situation, and this game is based on matchups, I guess more so than any other game I've seen. Say if he rolls a 38 pass against defense in the defensive zone. So his defender, which will be determined, I don't even see this blue die out of the picture here, it's a 2. He's actually matched up against the other team's center on this play. Now you roll the dice, you know, it changes every play. So, but on this particular, I'm just going to use this for an example. He's going against the other team's center. Alright. So, with 14 passing, and I can use the same thing, 13 for skating, if he's in a skating and checking mode. You would take the defender's number, the opponent's defender's number, and subtract it from either his passing or his skating number. Alright, so let's say for that it's passing 14, and let's get the Buffalo center out here. Number 2, Johan Larsson. Alright, he's a pretty good defender. He's above average, you know, being 5 being average. Alright, so you would take 14 minus 6, and you'd have number 8. Alright, so 1 to 8 would mean that Jack Hughes would win the matchup, and any of these rolls would come off of his card. Or on a 9 to 20, Johan Larsson wins the matchup, and the 2 to 12 dice come off his card. Alright, so let's see, I'm going to use the 20 die on the screen. That's right now, and it's a 1, so that's pretty much a guaranteed win for no, it's an automatic win actually for Jack Hughes. Alright, so the number, we'll use these on since it's on the screen. He rolled an 8, and Hughes on an 8, it shows a pass, a 2-zone pass to player C, and what that refers to is a player's recipient rating. You have A with the highest and D is the lowest on the ice. You don't count Jack Hughes since he's actually making the pass, so you don't count his rating. So the recipient rating, this is RC right here. C is the 3rd highest. So it looks like we got a tie between Butcher and Mueller. Alright, and so let's say he completes the pass to Garth Butcher. and it would go 2 zones, that black arrow, 2 zones forward. Say if the puck was here, it would go 1, and it would go to the blue line here. Alright, I'm going to demonstrate later when we actually play a little bit of the game so you get the feel of it. Yeah. Okay, moving along. Say we're in a skating against checking situation, alright? Back in the defensive zone. Alright, so that's any number from 39 to 58. Okay, 39 to 58. And his skate rating is a 13. And this time we're going to have him go up against the right winger. That's a 3. In 4th Street Hockey, number 1 is considered to be the left winger. Number 2 is the center. Number 3 is the right wing. Number 4 is the left defenseman. Number 5 is the right defenseman. And 6 is either the goalie or 6th attacker if he actually is on, for a pulled goalie. Anyway, so 3 for the right winger, and let me pull up the right winger for Buffalo in this instance. And that is, love this name, Zemgus Girgensson. Alright, so his checking rating is a 3. And Hughes, what did we say, was 13? So 13 and 3 is a 10. And let's use that dice. It's a 2. Again, an automatic win for Hughes. Alright. So number 4, we'll use these dice here for the roll on Hughes' card. And skating is an 8. Alright, looks like he goes 2 zones up and 1 to the left. So let's say he's here, just for argument's sake. 1, 2, and then to the middle. So he'd be M3 because he's starting out at L2. Alright. So you count, when you're in your defensive zone, you count this as a whole zone. The neutral zone is a whole zone. And into the blue line area of the attack zone. And over to the left. So that's where he would be with the puck, since he won his matchup. Now, say if Girgensson had won the matchup with the number 8 on the checking. Alright, a loose puck situation occurs, and then you have to roll for that. Now, so that's how the pass, defense, skating, check work, just like that. Other ratings on the cards. TG. I've never seen this in another game. This is unusual to this game. Tangible rating, which is actually a 0 here, so it doesn't really come into play. But there you got some skaters that are, 1 and 2s. I think that's as high as it goes, 0 to 2. And those are, the 2s are the guys who get a lot of game-winning goals, who get big goals at crunch time. And I guess it's defined by game-winning goals. LP is a loose puck rating. Girgensson's a -1 here. And I think it goes from 2 to +2. Let me stop, and I'm going to find those ratings and come right back. Alright, so yes, the tangible rating is, like I said, an average player has got a 0 tangible rating, and it's the game breakers, guys who win the game on the line, get the 1s and the 2s. Alright. Now, LP we did say was loose puck. TP is tip. He's got a tip rating for deflections in front of the net. Okay, and he's based 1 to 9, with 3 being an average, so he's slightly above average on tip ins. SP is speed, skating speed. He's rated from 1 to 5, with 1 being average. Alright. PK, you can guess, is a penalty killer. And rated from 0 to 9 with 5 being average. So he's pretty good in that department. Actually really good. And pH is his physical rating, rated from 0 to 2 with 1 being average, and is described as the effectiveness of a player displays it slowing down another team via his physical presence. Alright, so he's somewhere in the middle. He's about average. And EN is his enforcer rating, which he has none. It's defined in the game as the intimidating presence a player possesses. Alright, so going back to LP, the loose puck, they're actually rated between -2 and +2, with 0 being average. And the penalties, same difference, same thing. -2 to +2 with 0 being average. And okay, getting back. Basically, these arrows. I want to talk about the passing and the skating. The arrows, right quick here. And the passing. These are basically representing 2 zones forward. All these straight up arrows. This arrow right here passes it back to the point. Happens on a roll of 4 out of 12. 2 zones forward, 1 to the left. 2 zones forward, 1 to the right. And this is a 2-zone pass. And this is actually a breakaway pass, a 3-zone pass, or it starts at 2-on-1, 3-on-2, starts on a rush or a breakaway. Alright, so he'd have to hit box scores to get that. And actually it goes, but the second part of it goes to the D, the worst recipient rating, so probably nothing happened on that play. He gave it to his slow-footed defenseman on a breakaway. Anyhow, as far as the symbols under the skate, basically it's the same thing. I think these are pucks go out of play into the crowd, you know, deflected off a stick, what have you. Alright, so this is skating 2 zones. 2 zones up and 1 to the left. 2 zones straight ahead. Again 2 zones and 1 to the left. And 2 zones straight forward. Okay, yep, wanted to look up this symbol here, and it is 3 zones forward. Advance puck 3 zones forward, and he can skate at 3 zones forward. So again, counting the defensive zone as 1, the neutral zone as 2, and he'll get into the blue line area of zone 3, or this attack zone, in other words. Okay. So now these funny symbols here, that indicates a penalty, and this skull and crossbones, possible injury. Alright, so that can happen in the game. Okay, wanted to mention a couple other symbols right quick before I go on to the shooter matrix. These clear diamonds here indicate a steal and a shot in the opponent's zone, and the black diamonds include a steal. Diamonds, steel diamonds, get it? Alright, so that's basically those involve a turnover. In the last video I mentioned the shooter's matrix, putting puck on a goal, during where it might be a high danger or low danger opportunity, again with 2 6-sided dice. Alright, so again you have your B1, B2, B3, C1, C4, and so forth. And you have this stands for wide left and wide right. This W14 indicates a wrist shot. And it's a 14 because it's got a chance of getting blocked. Just like you have the skate, checking pass against defense, you also have a shot, which could have to be blocked. You can see Jack Hughes has a rating of -3. So you know, his opponent would definitely have a block rating. It could come into play. S is a slap shot, and it's a 14. And breakaway shot is 27. It's a high chance of scoring. Alright, much higher. S, this little arrow pointing down and to the right, I think it means you would take, if you had a dice roll of 21 for B3, you would actually add 1 to the right and down, which would make it a 32, changing that shot to a C2. On a slap shot, okay, that was a slap shot. On a breakaway, 27, okay. I believe that goes unchallenged. You got a real high chance of scoring on that. But anyways, it goes up and to the left. So say rolled a 44 and chose C4. You would actually go up and 1 to the left, or 33. Now it changes to a C2 because of that arrow pointing up and to the left. Alright, so one thing I wanted to explain. But yet another thing. Alright, you have these two numbers appear, and it adds points to the shot if they're on a power play. SH means he shoots left, of course. Add 10 points onto his shot number if he's a one-man advantage, or 15 on a two-man advantage. And say they're a two-man advantage and the goalie's pulled, that would be a three-man advantage. So you would add both of these numbers together to get 25. Alright, so now a second part of the shot, which is controlled by another set of dice. You have these little arrows here. Alright, so it would change the trajectory of the shot. Say if you had say you rolled a 34, C3, you go up and 1 to the left, so that would actually become a B2. Down to the right, it would be, or down to the left, excuse me, it also changed the trajectory of the shot. Alright, BL here is his block shot rating. Plus minus, you know what that is, shooting percentage. Face-off rating is a -2. Looks like he only won about 35% of his face-offs, 167, and lost 295. So he's got a low face-off rating. The only other significant, this 2 in parentheses, an assist rating, which I don't even use in the game. I'll let the game use the on-ice touches. And goals, you got 7 goals, but the 10 in parentheses is his recipient rating. So, you know, when they go to pass to A, B, C, D, you know, that's where that rating would come into play. And this concludes the skater part. I hope I've covered everything. If not, you can ask me questions or send a note to the game maker, Brian Aldridge. But hopefully I've covered just about everything. This is a long video. It's getting way too long, so I'm going to stop for now. I'll see you in the next episode.